Hey everyone, and welcome to Pinned on Places. From the brutal square keep of the Conqueror to the concentric rings of the crusading kings, a castle is the ultimate physical manifestation of power, transforming the very geography of the nation. These are the places where kings were imprisoned, rebellions were crushed, strategic strongholds built, and stages for some of history's most pivotal moments. This is England, and these are our top English fortresses that built it. At number 8, it's Pevensey Castle. If there is one castle that would summarise the entire story of England in a single site, then it's here at Pevensey. It is a fortress built inside a fortress, a layered cake of military engineering. Pevensey offers a rare chance to see Roman, Norman and World War II history layered directly on top of one another. Before it was a castle, it was one of the most powerful Roman forts in Britain. The massive D-shaped Roman towers still stand, defying the centuries. They are so sturdy that when the Normans arrived, they simply built their castle inside of the Roman walls, rather than tearing them down. This is the sacred ground of English history. On September the 28th in 1066, William the Conqueror landed his fleet right here at the castle. He spent his first night on English soil within these very walls. It was from Pevensey that he marched towards Hastings to change the course of the world forever. During World War II, Pevensey returned to active duty. Because of its strategic location on the coast, the ancient Roman and medieval walls were used as machine gun posts and pillboxes to defend against a potential Nazi invasion. It is one of the very few places on Earth where a Roman wall has been used to mount modern weaponry. You can explore the site, see the ruins of the Great Keep and the chapel foundations. You should also visit the recreated 1940s commander's office and how they lived amongst the medieval ruins. At number 7, it's Edlingham Castle, a true story of survival and structural defiance. Tucked away in a quiet valley in Northumberland, it is one of the most evocative and romantic settings and ruins in the north. Edlingham is famous for its solar tower, which stands at a precarious, gravity-defying angle. Unlike the grand royal projects of the south, Edlingham was a fortified manor house belonging to the local gentry, the Edlingham and later the Hastings families. The castle itself proves that a ruin doesn't need to be huge to be impactful. Its leaning tower is a monument to the families who tried to maintain life of refinement in one of the most contested landscapes in Europe. At number 6, it's Kenilworth Castle. Situated in Warwickshire, the castle is a sprawling epic of red sandstone, royal ambition, and one of the greatest what-if romances in English history. It is a palace fortress that evolved over 5 centuries, from a rugged Norman keep into a luxurious Renaissance estate, offering some of the most impressive red stone ruins in the world. You can climb the stairs in the Leicester's building. Inside you can see the exquisite alabaster fireplaces and wood panelled rooms that show the transition from castle life to manor house life. You visit Kenilworth not just for the stones, but for the drama. It's a monument to the greatest friend zone in history, a place where an earl spent a fortune trying and failing to convince a queen to marry him. At number 5, it's Framlingham Castle, a truly magnificent 12th century fortress located in Suffolk that defies the traditional castle look. Whilst most castles are defined by a central keep, Framlingham is famous for its stunning curtain wall and its massive ornate Tudor chimneys. The defining feature of the castle is its perfectly preserved curtain wall, Unlike many ruins where you can only simply look up at the walls, here you can walk the entire perimeter of the battlements. The walk takes you 34 feet above the ground. Because the central buildings were cleared away centuries ago, the courtyard you now see is the vast and open green, giving the walls a haunting skeletal beauty. Whilst here you might notice the dozens of highly decorative red brick chimneys. They are masterpieces of Tudor craftsmanship. They feature intricate swirl and zigzag brickwork patterns that were at the height of fashion during the 16th century. Unusually for the castle, Framlingham served also as a poorhouse for the local parish for over 200 years. Inside the building you'll find a museum, which offers a look into how the castle transitioned. If the castle also looks familiar to you, it might be because it is the castle on the hill from Ed Sheeran's famous song. He grew up in the town of Framlingham and is said that the castle inspired the song. A visit to Framlingham is one of the most photogenic castles in England, offering a mix of high-stakes royalty and one of the best medieval walking experiences in the country. At number 4, it's Middleham Castle, a compact, towering powerhouse of medieval architecture located in the heart of Wensleydale. Whilst it might not have been the same sprawling curtain walls of Framlingham, it possesses one of the most massive and impressive central keeps in England. Your visit may be inspired by its deep connection to King Richard III. It wasn't only a military outpost, it was Richard's favourite residence and his childhood home. As you walk through the ruins, you are tracing the steps of the last Plantagenet king. He spent his youth here under the tutelage of the Earl of Warwick, the Kingmaker, and later held his own magnificent court here as the Duke of Gloucester. Middleham was where Richard's only son, Edward of Middleham, was born and tragically died, making it a site of immense personal significance for the Yorkist dynasty. In its heyday, Middleham was the political hub of northern England. It was a centre of fashion, power and high-stakes diplomacy. Climb the stairs to the viewing platforms in the tower, and from here you can see across the rolling hills of Wensleydale and watch the famous racehorses from the nearby Middleham stables being exercised on the moors. You should visit Middleham for the history. It is the ultimate destination for anyone interested in the Wars of the Roses, Richard III, and the raw, heavy power of Norman English architecture. At number 3, it's Bodiam Castle, perhaps the most iconic and photogenic castle in England. Built in 1385 by Sir Edward Dahlingrig, a former knight of Edward III. It was designed cleverly during the 100 Years' War to defend both the Sussex countryside and, perhaps more importantly, to show off the immense wealth of its owner. Bodiam is world famous for its wide, deep moat that makes the castle appear to rise directly out of the water. As you walk the castle, the reflection of the stone towers in the still waters creates the perfect mirror image. Bodiam truly encapsulates the term quintessential fairy tale castle. Unlike older castles that grew up haphazardly over the centuries, Bodiam was built all at once, with a focus on visual balance. The castle is a perfect rectangle with drum towers at the corners and a massive gatehouse in its centre. You'll want to visit Bodiam for its aesthetics. It truly is the most visually stunning castle in the UK, and it gives a rare glimpse into late medieval obsession with chivalry, symmetry and architectural theatre. At number 2, it's Restormel Castle, located near Lostwithiel, Restormel is a true hidden treasure, a design where the living quarters are built against the inside of a massive circular curtain wall. It sits atop a high mound surrounded by a deep, lush green ditch, looking like a stone crown resting on the Cornish landscape. Many other castles often feel like a maze of disconnected walls, but this layout is incredibly intuitive, allowing you to clearly visualise how a high-status medieval household would have functioned. Restormel is arguably the most beautiful castle ruin in Cornwall. Because the main structure is a perfect circle, the interior feels like a grand open-air theatre. You can climb the stone staircases to the wall walk and look down into the clearly defined rooms, the kitchens, the Great Hall and the solar, getting a dollhouse view of how a royal household functioned in the 13th century. Recent surveys using LiDAR technology have revealed the outline of a Roman fort just south of this castle, suggesting this strategic high ground has been occupied for nearly 2,000 years. Restormel has it all. It is one of the most unusual and unique castles, and is absolutely worthy of being runner-up in this list. At number 1, it's Warkworth Castle. Warkworth is often described by historians as one of the most structurally interesting castles in Britain. It was the primary seat of the House of Percy, the Earls of Northumberland, who were for centuries the kings of the north. It's built in the shape of a hollow square with projecting corner towers, creating a stunning piece of residential medieval architecture. You can climb to the very top for spectacular views. Though it appears ruinous from the outside, the keep's interior apartments offer a fascinating glimpse into the aristocratic life, almost acting as a palace within the castle walls. Warkworth is truly famous for its great tower, which is not a typical square block, but a unique cross-shaped masterpiece. It is one of the best preserved examples of late medieval domestic planning. Inside you can still see how a great lord lived, from the complex network of kitchens to the solar where the Earl would entertain his guests. Many visitors describe the keep as looking like a giant, perfectly sculpted sand castle. Warkworth is a true castle connoisseur's choice for its architectural genius and is truly outstanding, and our top pinned pick for the number 1 spot. As we've seen, the castles of England have evolved from wooden forts to the invincible stone giants that we see today. They survived battles, civil wars, and relentless passages of time to remain standing as symbols of power and resilience. The gates may be open and the drawbridges down, but the air in these strongholds still feels heavy with the past. These castles have seen kings fall and empires rise, and they'll likely be standing long after we're gone. If you felt the magic in these ancient stones today, please make sure to hit on that like button and subscribe for more content. So we'll see you in the next one. Till next time.